Going on 6 now. Nonsense.
Welcome to another edition of Voices of the Writers, a reading of poems, vignettes, and stories for the Eat, Sleep, Write podcast. Salvage 4, Part 2, by Brian Larson. Read by Adam Scull. Mission, CSMO Recovery. Location, Kirkwood Gap, Asteroid 15 Eunomia. Earth date, August 7th, 2064. "Watch it," the captain shouted. "Royd!" Jake instinctively fired his thrusters to avoid the rock that was flying right at them. Where did that come from? "Keep alert, everyone," Gus smiled. "The aliens are throwing rocks at us now." The crew chuckled as he attempted to lighten the mood. Seriously, though, there is still the element of mystery as to what happened to the others. "Coming around now, sir." Hold up there now," Gus said, coming to the edge of the straps to get a better look out the front window. "Darla, shine our lights down 10 degrees and 5 port.
You got it, Cap.
What the hell is that? That looks like their harpoon cable pulled right out of the hull. It does, Jake nodded. What the hell happened? I don't know. Better examine the docking port for damage. We might have to make our own entrance.
He's right,
Darla said, nodding her head.
It looks like the cable snapped. We can't use that docking port. It's damaged.
They weren't trying to tether. They were trying to get away, Jake said. I'll take her topside and we can cut a hole in her and enter there.
What about our survivors?
Darla, there aren't any survivors. They ruptured their hull by tearing the line off. I doubt they had time to seal the leak. They were dead in less than a minute. He's right, you know, Darrell added. We knew they were all dead when we left Earth. No signal for weeks. Even if they did manage to seal a hatch, all their systems are offline. No juice, no scrubbers, no air. Darla looked down in despair, still hoping that she'd find someone alive on the CSMO.
I'll start recording our recovery ops.
You do that, Darla. Keep your mind on those 20 poor souls.
Oh, stop it.
That's enough, everyone, Gus ordered. Stay focused. Coming up topside now, Jake said, changing the subject, lowering landing skids, engaging magnetic lock in 3, 2, 1. The Salvage 4 rocked as it connected with Unit 1. We're locked on her now, Captain, powering down engines. Okay, Darryl, you and Julio suit up. You got it, Cap. Come on, Julio. Let's get to the aft. We'll be ready in 15. You two stay tethered all the times. You got that? Aye, Captain. I can assure you we will. The two floated aft and sealed the hatch. They both completed suiting up and gathering the tools they needed. We're ready, Cap. The aft cargo bay floor lowered, exposing the vastness of space. Raise the cargo door, Cap. We're all set here. 20 minutes later, the two had cut a large hole in the Unit 1 and installed the emergency hatch. Julio was the first to drop inside, followed by Darryl. We're recording, Captain. Are you getting this? Yes, we're reading everything, Gus said over the comm. Finding bodies? Yep. It's obvious they died of asphyxiation. Bastards never had a chance, Julio said. The two made their way to the flight deck of the CSMO, only to find more death. The captain is strapped in the pilot seat, and he has the thruster lever jammed as far as she'll go. That would account for the harpoon being yanked out of the hull, Gus said. That's strange, Darryl began. They must have run out of thruster juice at the exact same moment the cable snapped. Otherwise, they would have continued with forward momentum. All the systems are down, Julio reported. There's no power here at all. Maybe they experienced a power failure causing the thrusters to die. Then if the cable snapped, that would account for them being in this same position. Came up on the line and yanked them to this position. Get on back, Gus ordered. We'll fit some new bat packs and restore power. Once we can get the lights back on, we can examine the flight recorders. Cap, there's more. Darryl? Fear. Yes, Darryl. I'm sure it's not pleasant over there. Not me, sir. The crew over here. They all died with intense expressions of fear. One of them has his helmet on, but I can't see his face. Something's blocking my view. Jake looked over at Gus. It don't feel right, Captain. Yeah, the hairs on the back of my neck are standing at attention too, the captain nodded. You two get on out of there. Head back to Salvage 4.
Cap,
Darlene said, tapping Gus on the shoulder.
I think you should see this, sir.
Gus turned, giving Darla a quick glance. Daryl, do you read? Julio, report!
Gus,
Darla exclaimed. No one called the captain by his first name, ever.
you need to see this.
Gus turned to Darla with raised eyebrows. What is it?
There's something down there.
What are you talking about?
I found the harpoon strike and cable.
So what? We already established that the cable was pulled out of her.
There's something down there. There's something else down there, next to the targeted landing zone. I picked it up on the scope.
What the hell is that? Gus exclaimed. Daryl, Julio, report, on the double. The comm signal only returned static. Then the power went out on the Salvage 4.
Thank you for listening to another edition of the Eat Sleep Right podcast, located at eatsleepright.net. Please send any questions, comments or suggestions to comments@eatsleepright.net. Please consider a donation to support the Eat Sleep Right podcast. Donations can be sent to our PayPal address at donations@eatsleepright.net. Once in a lifetime, the theme music for the Eat Sleep Right podcast, courtesy of Stephen Paul, all rights reserved. Used by permission. Please join us again for the next edition of the Eat Sleep Right podcast.